What's going on, guys? Shake here, coming at you from the Mobile Gaming Command Center, aka my RV. And if you've watched a few of the other videos, you hear me mention scrap mechanic a lot. And I've been kind of waiting for the right moment to show off everything that I've been kind of working on. There's quite a bit of grinding involved, so I didn't want to have just weeks of me wandering around, collecting scrap. But I sort of came up with an idea and a way for me to have all the scrap come to me. So I was just going to kind of show you that stuff real quick. And I normally have my energy drinks for streaming, but one of the other YouTubers had recommended Monster Energy Ultraviolet. So I'm going to probably sample that real quick. Let me see if you can see this. It's a purple can, and the texture is just awesome. Like, you can feel all the little designs and stuff on it. Ooh. It smells... I was expecting grape, but I don't think it's grape. It's like a berry flavor. Maybe raspberry or blueberry? It's kind of like a sweet tart. Doesn't really have a grape flavor, but it tastes like some kind of berry, but I can't really put my finger on it. Might be the acai berry. I'm not sure. Normally they tell you, like what's in it and stuff, but aside from reading the ingredients, which is all the basic energy drink ingredients, like taurine and all that stuff, and then natural flavor or artificial flavor. It doesn't tell you what that flavor is. But, I mean, it's worth a try. It's zero sugar, no calories, The can's pretty cool. But before I get wrapped up in that, let's continue with this. So when you make a saw, okay, you have to have, I think it's 20, or let me go check real quick. It's like 20 metal and then 10 of the tier 2 metal or something like that. I can kind of give you guys a tour of my base and stuff later, but yeah. So the saw is 20 base metal and 10 of the tier 2 metal. And that's like 3 or 4 robots that you have to take out just to get the metal to make one saw. And you couldn't plant anything more than, I think, 8 crops of the carrots and tomatoes and beets. That's what it was. You can plant 8 of those without getting attacked by the hay bots and the little green guys, the tote bots. And if you plant anything more than that, of those basic ones, then you get attacked every night. At least if you have crops. Then you have to wait 24 hours before planting something else. Otherwise, it kind of resets and they attack you again. All the crops have a specific value. Of course, I call it tier 2 vegetables, like the blueberries and bananas and oranges. You can plant 4 of those without getting attacked. Anything more than 4 of them, and I think 6 potatoes, but that's individual. So like if you have 6 potatoes and that's it, then you're not going to get, attacked or whatever. So I wanted to speed up the process, and I made a larger plot, but I needed some defenses to protect myself from the attacks. And it took a little bit of grinding to get all the metal for the saws, which I just kept going over to, there's a building over that way, and then a building over this way. And then there's one guy that spawns in the second little, I guess, apartment thing over there. And it was just, me going and killing them and hopefully getting component kits and stuff to upgrade everything. Well, I eventually surrounded my entire base with saws like this on a pole, and there's a bearing underneath it. Let me pick that up. There's a bearing there. So I was hoping to attach a motor to them and have them spin, but that didn't quite work because you have to connect the engine. Like, the engine has to be touching the blocks that the saws and things are touching. Oh, and that's a big mess. I'll explain all that later. But basically, so the saws are attached to the concrete right here, which attaches to the wall, and then I put the motor on the wall. So now I'm able to connect these saws to this motor. And I put pistons on them so that they would extend out. Let's see if I can show you just the piston part. We'll put that on the loop. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay, so anyway, so this is everything working. And, you know, they get, when you get attacked, they run towards you, but they see the saw and they jump back. And they weren't getting attacked or damaged. So I decided I would bring the saws to them like that. And so far it works pretty damn good. So we'll turn that off. And I think if I turn the loop off, it'll continue doing its thing. See, so this is independent from the motor part of it. And I can go into detail a little bit later about how it works and things, but here, let's plant some stuff because it is almost time to get attacked. Let's do some potatoes. And, you know, like I said, you do more than 6. We'll do 10 just as a test. And then this is my auto watering deal. Of course, I'm wasting water, but I'm working on a way to get it all to my base through, I guess, a skyway deal. So, like, I have this going up and over, and I'm going to go out to the water and come down. So now we have the unauthorized farming detected. And I have a little bit of potatoes. So we'll wait until midnight. I did have some searchlights. I saw a few tutorials on how to make the searchlights, which I thought that was a nice little touch. And I added these little walls here just to kind of, you know, stop them. And they're outside of the range of the saw, so that gives me a chance to, like, pick them off and stuff. And I have this little ledge here so that I can kind of run along the wall. That's my vehicle that I made. I plan on going into a little bit more detail about everything. I might do an individual video for each project that I did. But like I said, I wanted to cut out all the grinding, and, you know, it just sort of snowballed. I was like, well, I don't have enough materials, you know, to build anything, and it was taking forever. And then I sort of came up with this, and it took me quite a while to come up with this sort of thing. And the piston and the watering deal took a little bit of tinkering with, because you have to time the left and right piston with the forward and back one, so that it actually goes through each row and then back and then goes to the next one. But, so I did the saws, and I noticed that the hay bots weren't really getting damaged by the saws unless they were on. Like, they'd run up, or they'd come into the middle and they wouldn't set off my sensors. Sensors are directly underneath each saw, and I have it also set so that if you walk in front of it, then it'll... Oh, and there's my potato thing. So that was my answer to the middle part, because a lot of times they'll run up and they'll go in between, and right now this is not set yet. I have to upgrade it. But they would run up here and they wouldn't set anything off. So my answer to that was to put a mounted Spud gun with a sensor. So now you can't get anywhere near it without it shooting you. So if they come anywhere in between, they'll get hit that way, and if they come this way, the saw will get them. I I plan on doing that all the way around, but like I said, this was just my first set of defense because I noticed that the haybots were scared of the saws, even if they weren't running. But this way, I was able to, get that going, and it's really cool because you get to tinker with stuff, and I have controllers for a lot of things. And just wanted to kind of show you guys what I've been doing for the past, I don't know, week or so. And this way I can grow as much ammo as I need, and I can get plenty. I think there's a total of 35 crop plots because I have those. And, whoop, I'm getting attacked. I got to talking too much. So we'll see. I don't think I planted enough of them to get any haybots. But check this out. He's going to come closer. And the Spud gun's going to shoot him. And I think the haybots and the tote bots are different sizes, so it's not going to detect them as much. So we'll just do this, and we'll kind of show you. He runs in, and then the saws get him. And then I can turn it off. I sort of have an issue with this. I think I have to have the loop on for it to come in and out. And then when I turn it off, they'll come back, I think. I do need to upgrade all these sensors to possibly 2 or maybe even 3. Because right now they're only like 4 blocks and it goes up to like right here. So that's why these weren't going off when I walked in front of them, because I have to upgrade them. And so I guess that was the only wave. I didn't have very many crops built, so that's why they didn't send a whole wave of people. But this was my first crop setup. I had the 8, because I knew that you couldn't get attacked if you had 8 or less. And I put the watering cannons above them. And I wasn't sure how to do 1 and, have it extend out and move over. So I just built 8, which, that took a lot of resources. And I was trying to get the water container to pump water from the lake back to where I am here. I ran it across the ground at first, but every time I was getting attacked, they would just destroy it. And I tried to cover it with concrete and all that stuff, but it took a lot of resources. So now my next answer is to go up and over the gas station and eventually come all the way this way to where my water container is here. And I have this on a switch. It's constantly pumping water in, so I always have 100 water in here. And I just grab that, run back to my base, and put it in there. So my plan is to have the glass vacuum tubing come all the way this way above ground, out of the attack range of all the mobs, and come down into the water out this way someplace. But for now, this is going to work, and it's always pumping water in there, and I just grab it and I run back to my base. It's not that far away. So we'll go back, and I think I will plant a lot more crops just to kind of show you guys the next wave, because it goes by however many crops you have planted. It's how big the mob is that attacks. So let's go to the potato seeds. Don't know if this will do it, but I mean, I need ammo anyway, so let's do the ammo. Are they attacking again? See, there we go. That's my 8 crops. I thought I heard... there we go. There's my message for the farming deal. Thought I heard a tote bot somewhere. Sometimes they get stuck, like they'll run in here and they'll get stuck on this little wall, or they'll run around the back and they'll get caught in the corners here. I do plan on eventually putting some sort of wall or saws or drills or something. Maybe some pistons. See, I had a frame for like a door. And I want to do like where you hit a button and it opens and closes. And getting up on the roof of this place was a pain in the butt, so I had the idea to make an elevator. So that's my next project, is to build an elevator to go up on the roof, and I might put like, you know, a panic room or something up there. I'm not sure exactly, but for right now, this is what I'm dealing with here. And we'll wait for midnight again, and I'll show you how the hay bots do with all of the stuff. And the cool thing about this is, you know, you have a hard time collecting circuit boards. Well, as you can see, I have plenty of circuit boards here. There's 3 there. You know, I have tons in my chests. So, like, I'll collect everything. I'll put it in these chests here. I got seeds, circuit boards, and I collect the scrap metal from the hay bots also. And I put it here. When it gets full, I drop it off inside. Ah, there he is. You got one more hit. Let's see if you can take me out. But he's going to get stuck on that little wall there. That's sort of like a defense dealie that I had. Oh, there he goes. See? Now I have a circuit board. I can kind of go into detail on this. When I pull out the connection tool, it gets a little crazy because you see all this stuff I have going on here. So it might be easier if I just kind of show you without that stuff. I have all the sensors underneath. They go to a logic gate, which is right here. And this is an OR gate. So basically, you have multiple switches, and it's like this switch or that switch. And you can connect as many as you want to it, I believe. So I have, I think, 9 or 10 going to this logic gate. And then from the logic gate, it sort of acts like a switch. So sensor goes off, it goes to the logic gate. And then I have the logic gate attached to the motor or the engine and to the controller for all the pistons. So basically, the sensor acts like a switch, and this logic gate tells it to turn the motor and the controller on. That's basically how it works. So that way, if anything does go in front of it, it trips the sensor. See, that's the piston. Why aren't the saws working? Oh, because I think I have it turned off, maybe. Or is it it's this loop thing? Sometimes it's a little screwy. That seems to work now. So let's put this back on the loop and we'll test it again and we'll see if it does the same thing. Yeah, that was strange. I don't know. And all of these pistons, let me get to right here. Let's see. Pistons are... Whoa, no, don't kill me. All the pistons are level 1, so they only go out 7 blocks. You can theoretically upgrade them all to go out 15 blocks, which will basically double the range of the saws. But if you do that, you'll have to upgrade the sensors also, because the sensors only trip when you are, I think I have this set to 10, which is why I have this here so I can mark where not to walk, because if I go on the other side, you know, why? That's the thing I'm still trying to tinker with and figure out. I think it's the loop thing that's messing with it. So now it's going to cycle in and out so many times. Yeah, there we go. I think I have it. I'm still working the kinks out, but yeah, that's my wall with my motion sensor saws, and eventually my potato gun defense. You have the searchlights and my auto. Well, it's not auto; it's semi-auto watering deal where you push the button and it waters my 20-something crops. I did take this one out and the one on the other side out just because I have this sensor set to, I think 1 or 2 for the range. And when it gets to this side, it'll water it. But if you start on this side, it doesn't sense the block because it's already there. So it was always skipping this one or this one. I have it set to go back and forth and then stop on this side. And then when it starts again, it waters this one and so on. So I had to take those out because they were just, a pain in the butt. And for some reason, I cannot build a crop plot here. It will not let me. I've tried, tinkering with it and maybe rotating it and stuff, and it does not want to work. And for me to be able to water this one, I would have to move everything over one, which would throw all of this off. And I figured it would just be easier to just leave it and worry about my one crop, because I've already got, I think, a total of 35, so what's 1 out of 35? And what I've been doing is planting all my crops and fighting off the bots and collecting, farming resources this way instead of actually going out and farming it that way. I do it like this, and everything comes to me. So I don't have to worry about venturing out and fighting stuff, I do have to go back and get gas every once in a while because I have the gas tank here, and the engine is fully upgraded so it doesn't use hardly any gas at all. And I have it set to the very first tick because the saws don't really need to be ridiculous to cause damage. So it's very fuel efficient, and it seems to work pretty good for now. All of the, so that was the saws. All of the potato cannons they're tied to the, that is a mess. But if you can tell, this red and this kind of purple color, this is the sensor and this is the potato gun. So all of the potato guns go to their respective sensors to activate them. They're like I said, they're like little switches. You can have it set to do like a switch or a button. And I want to do the button because, it's like you press a button and a potato comes out. So I have all of those tied to this particular ammo container. And I do have, I think, 5 or 6 of these. But I started with 2 for now. So that they're all not pulling out of one ammo box. I want to do like maybe these 2 come out of this one, and then the next 2 come out of the next one. That way, I'm not depleting everything out of one container. I'm sort of splitting it up some. These motion sensor lights are pretty nifty. I have them going to a controller that I have hidden here because I want them on all the time. and you do the forward 30, forward 30, back 30, back 30, and so on. And it's three bearings per light. So I have 3 and then 6, which is this one and this one over there. And I'm working on tying this one in. Right now it's just kind of hanging out. But I want it to kind of scan over here some. And once I have enough materials to actually attach these saws to the wall, I will be able to power them with an engine. This one has 10 connections already, so I'll have to make a second one. I might move it over one and put a second one here. But for now, like I said, this is what I've got going on. So here's all the crops that I have so far. I have been doing, alternating between potatoes and carrots and tomatoes and stuff. So I could use the cookbot and make veggie burgers. And then I have this little refrigerator. I think this is just kind of cosmetic because it's the same size as a regular chest. But you can only put food in it. So, and that is a lot different than having a full large chest with an extra row that you can put anything in. So, it's not really a waste of materials, but I could easily switch this out with a large chest and have, 1.5 more spaces to store things. This was my first one. I'm kind of proud of how this worked out. Because, like I said, it took so long to farm the materials and stuff that, you just push the button and it waters the crops. And that's basically the simple thing. It's just these are tied to the water container over here. And then they're also tied to the button. This will be a little bit easier to understand, I guess, if you like to follow the wires. That's the water container. And it tells each one of these to take water from it. And then this button activates all 8 of those. These potatoes are done. Oh no! I always do that. I grab a block. There we go. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna mess with it. I usually plant them all. I might have to harvest all of them and then plant them all at the same time again. I plan on building up. I might do like a second floor maybe. The mobs do attack my vehicles, so what I've been doing is just kind of putting them up like this and then sticking them inside on top of the blocks there to keep them from damaging my wheels on my other car. That's my crop delivery one where I go to the packing facility and I pack all the crops. I load the thing up and then I go to the trader. And this was my little exploring one that I had. And the tote bots and hay bots were attacking my vehicles and taking out the wheels. So I came up with this little idea, and I encased and went all the way around, and it sort of worked. I mean, they did take out one headlight and a couple of these, but it gave me a little bit of a warning, and I was able to go stop them. So I've been putting them up on my little truss here, and then also up on this second floor. Those are all my potato containers, because I thought I could tie them all together, but I can't. They're sort of just, a one container, and you can't really combine them, I don't think. I have 50 potatoes. That's good. I have more in here, so let's take some of those out. I want to leave plenty for my guns to go off. I think these 3 are upgraded to where they can sense mobs, but I have to use component kits to upgrade these ones, and that's what I'm working on now, is farming the hay bots when they attack for scrap and component kits. And then I can use those to upgrade everything. So this has just been what I've been doing for the past, week or 2 weeks or whatever. I think I have 105 hours in game, what Steam says. And for like the first 40 something hours, it was just me wandering around and starving to death because I wasn't sure exactly how to figure the game out. But I think where I excel is, all of the technical stuff, like wiring the switches and the buttons and telling sensors and pistons what to do. These I need to upgrade to max level because these are going to be my pistons for my elevator eventually. Of course, you need 2 to upgrade 1. 2, 4, so that's 8 component kits, plus, and that's just to upgrade them to level 2. And I think they go up to level 5. So I need a lot of component kits to upgrade everything, and that's what I'm kind of working on. So now that we have more potatoes, we should have more mobs come this time. We'll hang out until 2400 or midnight, and we'll see what they attack this time. I like how this kind of scans back and forth, and they work sort of in unison. So like when this one goes left, that one goes left, you only have this little bit that it's missing. And I plan on tying this one in at the same time to scan this way when this one's facing to the left. So, alright, we got 30 seconds. Eat some food. I've got plenty of food, that's the cool thing with the way this crop thing is set up. Let's turn this on. Actually, let's do the loop on, that way it'll stay constantly running, and we'll turn that on. Does get a little laggy. So they're going to chase after me. I'm going to try to run over this way and see if they'll come over here. Oh, did it work? Missed it. There's those. Oh, he ran right over it. Oh. I think it might have been those blocks there that got it. That one. There's usually one that gets stuck over here. Damage report? I think we're doing pretty good, except for that one that hopped over my whole thing. And then we'll go through it, we'll collect all this stuff. Yeah, 2, 5. More scrap. Ah! I haven't found a way to protect myself from this thing. Like, this is how dangerous this thing is. Because before I put this up as a barrier to know, like, where not to go, I was always just running by it and then just getting freaking, like, smushed by the blades and everything else. Now I'm going to have the mounted Spud cannons, or Spud guns, to show even farther. I haven't figured this out. It's the loop thing that messes with it. So it's going to go in and out, I think, 7 or 10 times or whatever it is, and then it'll go back to normal. And I haven't really tinkered with timers or none of that stuff yet, but that's my next little thing. I've been kind of learning as I go. And then I don't like to watch a lot of YouTube videos, but if there's something that I'm completely stumped on, I will, check it out real quick. There's a couple guys that I do watch every once in a while to get some ideas. Like that's how I got the idea for the searchlights. Um, and then I saw a video about a saw wall, but I wanted to put my own little spin on it, which is why I have the pistons and the auto thing, so I don't have to sit there and push a button every time I want to turn it off and on. It'll be automatic. So anyway, that's where I'm at. And if you want me to do some more videos, I can. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I've been working on for the past, week or two or whatever. And it's going to be pretty epic. So stay tuned for some more videos, possibly. This is Mr. Shakezilla signing off, and I hope to see you in the next video.